She loved him fat. He killed her fit. This man lost 75 pounds. And his humanity. His wife Shawntai meal prepped for him, motivated him, believed in him when his own mirror was his enemy. She helped him become the man of his dreams. Then he put a rifle to her neck and pulled the trigger. October 19th, 2023. Her parents came to save her. They were 30 seconds too late. I'm about to tell you a story that'll make you question everything you think you know about love, loyalty, and what happens when a man's transformation becomes a woman's death sentence. If you're ready for 30 minutes of the most twisted betrayal you've ever heard, hit that subscribe button for an WAMI casebook right now, because this case, it's going to change how you see glow-ups forever. But first, let me tell you who Shawntai really was. Before she was a hashtag, before she was a headline, before she became another statistic. Shawntai Adkins was a whole damn vibe. Registered nurse. The kind who remembered your birthday and stayed late when you needed her most. She didn't just clock in and clock out, she cared. Deep, genuine, healing hands, kind of care. But when those scrubs came off, meet Lucky Charm. That was her biker name, Lucky Charm, member of the all-female motorcycle crew, Hot Throttle Divas. These weren't weekend warriors, these were sisters who rode hard, lived harder, and had each other's backs, no matter what. Picture this, 5'4" woman rolling up on a holly, leather jacket, helmet off, shaking out her hair like she owned every road she touched. Because she did. But you want to know what made Shawntai truly special? She built herself from absolutely nothing. Started as a CNA certified nursing assistant. That's wiping patients, changing bedpans, doing the grunt work while studying for something bigger. Working double shifts, raising her daughter as a single mom, going to nursing school at night. Most people would have quit. Most people would have said, it's too hard, too much, too late. Not Shawntai. She graduated, became an RN, doubled her income, secured her future. She was proof that you could rebuild your entire life with nothing but determination and heart, and through it all, she raised her daughter. Soccer games, school events, mother-daughter dates. She wasn't just surviving single motherhood, she was thriving in it. Her daughter had everything she needed, because Shawntai made sure of it. Even when it meant Shawntai went without. So when I tell you this story, remember this, Shawntai Adkins was not a woman waiting to be saved. She was not incomplete without a man. She was not desperate or needy or broken. She was whole. She was enough. She was thriving. And then she met Chantel. The biker community, where big personalities and bigger hearts collide. Enter Shantell Adkins, member of Down and Dirty Nation biker crew. Big dude, we're talking 300 pounds of presence. Big bike, big laugh, big energy. And in the beginning, they looked perfect together. Both bikers, both lovers of good food, long rides, and longer conversations. They bonded over barbecue and bike rallies, over dogs and dreams and late night talks about where life was taking them. Shawntai thought she'd found her person. Someone who matched her energy, someone ready to build, not just coast. He seemed responsible, rooted, loyal. The early photos tell a beautiful story. Cookouts in the backyard, supporting each other at family events, cheering at her daughter's games like he'd been there from day one. Birthday tributes on social media that made your heart melt. Happy birthday to my ride or die, my best friend, my everything. Thank you for choosing us every single day. Another year around the sun with this beautiful soul. I'm the luckiest man alive. They looked like the couple that was going to make it. The ones who found love later in life and appreciated it more, because they knew what it was like to be alone. Blended family vibes. Shantai's daughter calling him dad. Holiday traditions. Anniversary celebrations. The whole Pinterest perfect life. But here's what social media doesn't show you. Here's what the smiling photos can't capture. The foundation of their relationship was built on something dangerous. Shawntai was the strong one. The stable one, the one with her life together. Shantell was the project. The potential, the man she could help become better. And that dynamic. That caregiving, fix him, love dash him dash into dash greatness dynamic. It works. Until it does and single quotes d dot. Until the man you built decides he's too good for the woman who built him dot. By 2021, the cracks were starting to show. Small at first, easy to ignore, easy to explain away. He got a good job. More money, more confidence. Started hitting the gym, started losing weight dot. And that's when everything went to hell. Let me paint you a picture of what a toxic glow-up looks like from the inside dot. 300 pounds to 225, belly to ABS. Insecurity to arrogance dot. At first, Shawntai was proud. She meal prepped his chicken and vegetables. She celebrated every milestone. She bought him new clothes when the old ones got too big dot. She was his biggest cheerleader. But somewhere between losing the weight and finding his jawline, Shantell lost something else. His loyalty. The gym became his second home, then his first home, then the only place he wanted to be. Gone were the lazy Sunday mornings in bed. Gone were the dinner dates and movie nights. Gone was the man who used to cling to her love like oxygen. Now, he was taking mirror selfies with captions like New Year, New Me, while Shawntai was at home raising his stepdaughter and wondering where her husband went. You want to know what's sick about this? Shawntai started blaming herself. Maybe she wasn't supportive enough. Maybe she wasn't fit enough. Maybe she wasn't doing enough to keep his attention. So she started waking up at 5 a.m. to work out. She started meal prepping for herself too. She started trying to match his new energy, his new lifestyle, his new priorities. But here's the thing about competing for your own husband's attention. You've already lost. Because while she was home, trying to become the woman she thought he wanted. He was out becoming the man who didn't want her at all. The DM is started. The late nights out. The working late excuses. The phone turned face down at dinner. Shawntai wasn't stupid. She knew something was wrong. But she did what women are conditioned to do. She tried harder. She cooked his favorite meals. She planned romantic date nights. She bought lingerie. She suggested couples counseling. She fought for a marriage that was already over in his mind. And the worst part, he let her twist herself into knots trying to save something he was actively destroying. The drinking started. Not social drinking. Angry drinking. Mean drinking. The kind of drinking that turns a 225-pound man into a 225-pound weapon. He'd come home drunk and pick fights. About her cooking. About her weight. About her daughter. About anything and everything except the real problem, which was him. The emotional abuse escalated. He'd tear her down in front of friends. Make comments about her appearance. Compare her to other women. This is the woman who helped him lose 75 pounds, remember. The woman who believed in him when he couldn't button his jeans. And he was making her feel like she wasn't enough. But Shawntai was still trying to save it, still making excuses. Still hoping the man she married would come back. He wasn't coming back. That man was gone forever. And the man who replaced him. He was planning her murder. You want to know what finally opened Shantai's eyes? Technology. An Apple Watch, the same device that tracked his workouts and counted his steps, also delivered the evidence that would destroy their marriage. Messages, photos, conversations with multiple women. Not just cheating. Full-blown relationships, emotional affairs, physical affairs, plans to leave, plans to start over. Can you imagine that moment? The woman who supported his transformation, who celebrated every pound lost, who believed in his potential. Finding out he was using that transformation to attract other women. She wasn't just being replaced. She was being erased. The evidence was overwhelming. Months of deception. Hundreds of messages, photos that made it clear this wasn't just an emotional affair. He had checked out of their marriage completely. But did Shawntai leave immediately? No, because that's not how trauma bonds work. That's not how love works when you've invested everything. She confronted him. He denied it. She showed him the evidence. He blamed her. If you were a better wife, I wouldn't need to look elsewhere. Maybe if you took care of yourself like these women do. You're jealous because I'm finally confident. The gaslighting was immediate and brutal. He made her doubt what she'd seen with her own eyes, made her question her own sanity, made her feel like she was the problem in a marriage he had already abandoned. But Shawntai wasn't completely broken. The nurse in her, the mother in her, the lucky charm in her. She knew this was abuse. She started documenting everything. Screenshots, photos, voice recordings. She started planning her exit. She just didn't plan it fast enough. Early 2023. The mask was completely off now. Shantell wasn't even pretending to be a husband anymore. He was a stranger living in her house, sleeping in her bed, eating her food, and planning her destruction. The physical abuse started. Pushing, grabbing, accidental bruises that weren't accidents at all. He'd drink and rage about how she was holding him back, how she was jealous of his success, how she couldn't handle his transformation. Success. His success was built on her foundation. His transformation was supported by her love. His confidence was born from her belief in him. But narcissists don't remember who they were before they became who they are. The threats became specific. If she left, he'd make sure she regretted it. If she tried to take anything, he'd destroy her. If she talked to anyone about their problems, there would be consequences. Shawntai was trapped. Not just emotionally, but practically. This was her home, her life, her daughter's stability. But she was also dying inside. The woman who used to light up rooms was shrinking. The biker who owned every road was afraid to leave her own driveway. Her friends noticed. Her family noticed. Her biker sisters from Hot Throttle Divas noticed. Girl, this isn't you. Where's our lucky charm? When's the last time you smiled? Really smiled? He's killing your spirit. You know that, right? And slowly, with the support of people who really loved her, Shawntai started to see the truth. This wasn't a marriage worth saving. This was a hostage situation. October 2023. She made the decision. She was leaving. She contacted her parents, made a plan, chose a day when he'd be at work, hacked what she could, prepared to start over. Again. But Shantell found out, and he had a different plan. Thursday, October 19th, 2023. The day that should have been Shantai's Freedom Day became her final day. Her parents were coming to help. Not just emotional support, physical help. Moving trucks, boxes, the whole thing. Shawntai was finally getting out. She had probably been up all night, packing, planning, maybe crying, maybe praying, definitely scared, but also hopeful. This was it. The start of her new life, away from the man who had become her nightmare. Her parents pulled up around midday, probably relieved that their daughter was finally leaving, probably proud that she found the courage. They walked toward the front door, ready to help pack, ready to drive away with their daughter safe in the passenger seat. They never made it inside. The gunshot came from inside the house, rifle, close range, to the neck. By the time they reached the door, Shawntai was already gone. Lucky Charm was dead, and Shantell. He turned the gun on himself, but he survived, because even in murder, he was selfish. Even in death, he was a coward. He took everything from her and kept everything for himself. The trial was swift. 17 minutes of jury deliberation, guilty on all counts. Life in prison without parole. But justice doesn't bring back a mother. Justice doesn't untraumatize her daughter. Justice doesn't fill the empty spot in the Hot Throttle Divas formation. Shawntai helped a man lose 75 pounds. And he repaid her by making her lose everything, her life, her daughter's mother. The world's lucky charm. If this story moved you, if it scared you, if it made you think about someone you know who might be in a similar situation, hit that subscribe button for NWAMI Casebook. Share this video, Use Shantay's story to start conversations about red flags, about domestic violence, about the deadly consequences of male entitlement. Rest in power, Shawntai Adkins. You were worth more than he ever deserved. Lucky charm forever.